It is Super Saturday. Yes, we're just over 4 weeks away from the Cheltenham Festival. We've got more clues to come this weekend. Some brilliant action in Newbury and what. Before I get started, I must just ask you watching this, and you must like and subscribe this channel right now. I know about 80% of you who watch us are subscribed, so you're missing out. Maybe whenever I have a new episode, you don't get to see Frankie's lovely face or listen to Joel's squeaky voice because you've got allergy again.
Yeah, it's not so squeaky. It's probably a little bit down. I've had the flu jabs from Paul Nicholls, so I ain't running perfectly well. So for people who dislike me, it'll be hand signals this week. So you've got to keep watching when you're liking and subscribing. Yeah, I'll keep it quiet this week.
All right, I don't know what the hand signal is for Sir Gino misses out, Frankie, because sadly we're not going to see him this weekend.
I know, it's a shame, isn't it? This is probably one of the better weekends as we get on the road to Cheltenham, as obviously the big guns start getting put away, but we have got some good action this weekend, and hopefully we're in similar form, because last weekend, Matt, kudos, O'Connell, you put up as the absolute nap that couldn't get beat, and he obliged. Joel gave a shout to Red Dirt Road, and me being me, I got the dirty double over the line with Mashburn and Galloper de Champs. So we were all in half-decent form last week. Hopefully it continues.
Yeah, surely lightning can't strike twice. But yeah, fingers crossed we're going to try. Right, let's get stuck into then. So as I just said, obviously my superiors have been on to me, trying to get us to like and subscribe. And then every time a new video lands, whether it'll be this punter's guide, put in the direction of a few winners, like we did last week, thank you, Frankie, or the road to Cheltenham, of course, where we look forward to the festival and react to the weekend's racing. A message will appear in your inbox, so you just click and you're straight through to like, subscribe, and it's dead simple. And yet see those beautiful faces twice a week. Right, 7 races from the ITV cameras this week. We're going to start on Super Saturday at Newbury with a 3 mile stayers hurdle. Now, interestingly, Rebecca Curtis has put Haiti Couleurs in here. Is this just a little bit of a prep run, get a bit of a freshener into him ahead of keeping his handicap mark dry for probably the ultimate at the festival, Frankie?
I was wondering the same thing, and I think you might be right. There's a couple of horses. This, I suppose, is a running theme in the handicaps anyway this weekend. This could be the last chance to get a run into your horses, and in a way that might not blow their mark if the festival's on your mind. So I'm probably going to stay away from a couple like them. This is somewhat contradicting, but the 4 6s is in here after running poorly over fences, and I wonder whether his plan isn't to go back over fences. It's just to stay over hurdles, because he hasn't been the best jumper. He was pulled up and then unseated in his 2 starts over fences. He's big price for Ollie Murphy. James Brown's a good booking. I think will have no problem staying, and he's got some half-decent hurdle form. I know he's got to carry a lot of weight, but I'd say he's a half-decent animal and maybe just hasn't taken to fences. I could be wrong. He could switch back, but I'm taking the guess that he's actually just not that good over bigger obstacles, and this might be his game.
There's a leap of faith in it there's a leap of faith with more letters than numbers next to his name, but you might be right. James Bowen on board. Ollie Murphy with Sean riding Haiti Couleurs. Joel, where are you going?
Well, every week I start looking at the Paul Nicholls horses, and we're recording just after 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and another Paul Nicholls hot pot has just been beaten. I think it was Kempton. It looked beaten a long way out, came fourth. And I think it was conditional jockeys race. But I thought I'd fallen down on one here with Ivaldi. Was a massive price at the end of November at Newbury, 80-1, and was always out the pack. Lorcan and Williams were on that day. Harry Cobden is back on. I still believe this horse is well handicapped and really gave it big chance. And there has been money for it this week, but the Nicholls stable form again is just getting me a little scared. And one that will be landing a big gamble at some point once again is the John Joe horse. So I think this is probably for you, Matt. Antair, I think it was at Maven Haydock was there that day, and it got it well handicapped and the money was down. And John Joe had come in himself on the helicopter, had a few glasses of champagne and gone again. There's no money for it. There's nothing to back it on form for another day. But I thought Ivaldi was 20s earlier on this week, and he'll probably go for a single figure price in a big field where anything could win this. Some will be out for a little run, but Ivaldi, I'll have a little go on Ivaldi.
Okay, Logo and Avaldi then in the 150. What about the Denman Chase? Talking of Paul Nicholls, obviously, he does like to target this race. There's plenty winner of it, named after his Gold Cup winning at Graham. I know the form's in and out, but they've not been running too badly on the main. And I thought this is Brave Man's game for the taking. I know he's probably got to look at the Gold Cup. He's probably looking more at Aintree, but I thought he might get a soft lead. And his form, although he's not best in the race, Jello is best. I think plenty of these have got questions to answer, whether it be stamina, whether it be form. And with Brave Man's game, his form is generally at the top level. Disappointing the King George, but I thought he could bounce back. What did you make of it, Joel?
Yeah, it's not a great race, actually, to be fair. If we're going to be transparent this weekend, Brave Man's game was the next coming to Denman right at the start. And I remember putting him up going, I can't wait for this horse. I did a deep dive into this race last night, trying to find something. I mean, the tongue tie is going on Brave Man's game now. The horse had more wind issues and more wind ups than Paul Nicholls has got kids. It's going for the Grand National. The positives are found 3 from 3 at Newbury. It's off 157 now. Was top rated 172. Look, it's there for the taking. There's £1 between that and Hitman. And Harry Cobden did also say that Hitman will not get anywhere near Brave Man's game, and talks about seconds in the Gold Cup, Irish Gold Cup, King George, whatever it was. So that's why he's gone for Brave Man's game. And just looking down the rest of the list, there's so many holes in these horses. And I genuinely got it down to to Sam Brown to finish in second place. He was a 13-year-old now, but I backed it again last time out. And it was only a length and a half behind Copperhead, who's won 3 and come second twice. So look, it's a race that you look at and you go, look, Brave Man's game got to be winning this. And I thought Sam Brown may become second, and Hitman would find probably too good again.
Yes. Different name for Hitman, but he just find one too good. Frankie, are you in agreement?
No, I'm finding him hard to back, especially as a favourite. I mean, what's his best form this year is finishing behind the real Whacker, or maybe his third at Haydock, I guess, but he was a long way back that day. I know that this trip is probably going to suit him a little bit better. There's always been question marks over if he truly stays. I guess it was second in the Gold Cup. No, I'm going to stick with Jello. The deciding reason was, is £6 enough to stop him? And I'm not sure it is. These are all really kind of your handicapper / grade 2 horse that aren't going to hit the big time. And I just think Jello is closest to the big time out of the field. And yeah, if there was a bigger difference in the weights, maybe, but £6 isn't loads for a horse that, when he gets into a good rhythm under our man Deutsche, could go and win. Yeah. Fave's hard to back for.
I wouldn't mind losing £6. Big difference.
Do you think you'd stay 2 miles 7?
Shut up. I need every round.
Yeah. Let's be fair. If Greg was closing, he'd get there in 3 minutes.
I can't hear you. Sorry. Your voice is going. Right, let's talk about the game spirit then. Obviously, no Sir Gino, which is a shame we're not going to see him, but it has kind of blown this wide open, and now all 5 will fancy their chances, Frankie.
Yeah, it's been a bad weekend for the Ginos. I've heard Sir Gino and Mr. De Campo both out the frame as of this morning. I think Edwardstone's is not being respected in the market. He was brilliant in this last year, wasn't he? And okay, he hasn't been winning his races, but that's because he's been running in all the top grade ones behind John Bon. And his form, for me, hasn't necessarily teetered off. John Bon has surpassed him and continued to get better, but I would say he's still at the same level. So I don't think he's being respected in the market. And I feel like you get opportunities with horses like Edwardstone that run consistently in grade 1s. And when they pop up in a lower grade race, you have to take your chance with them. So I think he's a decent bet for the weekend. I guess you'll probably disagree because you really like Matata, but I am with Eddie.
All right, let's see.
I love Edwardstone as well. Obviously getting on in age. I even wrote last night, it will be the forecast or the 10-1 each way, or if you're at the track, you play it on the place or whatever. That 10 lengths behind John Bond, 4 lengths behind Energumen. Could have been a lot closer on that day, to be fair, but wasn't smashed around. Pretty quick turnaround, is it? 31 days, something like that. I really liked Edwardstone, but then you're going down the bottom, and I thought Matt would have gone for, when Sir Gino was still in there for the forecast, I thought you would have gone at JPR1. At one point, it was 33-1. I was thinking it was the real obvious forecast from that, Sir Gino to beat JPR1, which is horrendously underrated.
I looked at it and I thought, you know what? Betting without him, I don't think he'd have beaten Sir Gino, but betting without him, I just thought you've been totally disrespected. He was third, only beating 10 lengths behind John Bon. It's, like a reproduction of that. And he won before away. There's no way he should have been, 25. I think he was about 10s without Sir Gino. So I just thought, but I also like Liberty Hunter. I also think we haven't seen the best of him, or certainly he hasn't been able to fulfill his potential. So I'm not sure where he's going to go at the festival. Grand Annual could have been outside the Champion Chase. So it's a race that I just want to watch because I can't really pick between them. So I'm looking forward to watching it. And that's kind of made it a bit more of a betting spectacle as well. There was only 5, but with Sir Gino out of it, it has kind of made it a little bit more of a betting medium. So I'm looking forward to that, but not as big of a betting medium as the big handicap at 335. Love these kind of races. 8-2 the old gold trophy, 2 mile handicap. It'll be whizzing around Newbury. I tell you what, boys, if you like a couple of darts, you may have them. What are we going with? Starting with Joel.
Well, look, we had Secret Squirrel last time out when it won. Fantastic. It fell. It was probably going to be placed at best just before Christmas. That was the final leg in my life changer with Crambo and 4 others. So, we were forgiving on that one. I like a couple in here. I like the second string of JPs who won it last year, Berwick Lord. If you look at that race last time out at Windsor, and obviously the jocks are trying to work out how to ride Windsor. Nemean Lion, it was a strange old market. Nemean Lion for Kerry Lee was 6s in the morning, went off around 85 to 40 2-1, something like that. And the only other one trying that race was Salvo. It was half an end second. Iberico Lord and Langadown were chatting to each other out the back. I don't know when the day is for Iberico Lord, but I really like that horse. But I was looking at potential net material for Washington. Of Harry Derham's, used to be the Ollie Murphy, got a wind up, went to Paul Nicholls for about a week, was run once under his name, was pulled up, and then he's 2 from 2 for Harry Derham. And I watched that Fairy House win. It's a 59 grand handicap. I watched that by last night, a 5-length win, got clobbered by the handicap, but I still think he's got quite a lot in hand. And now he's got his gallops back and everything. I thought Washington was a really, really strong bet this weekend, is still a double-figure price.
Yeah, he was supported a little bit, wasn't he, when the decks were announced. So, yeah, interesting Washington. He must have a chance. Loads of these have got chances. Your old mate beat the bats in there as well, Frankie.
I know. I hoped for more from him last time out, to be honest. There's about 5 or 6 horses in here that have been put up on the podcast at some point. We do love these 2 mile handicap races, don't we? You said I'm allowed a few darts. I'm going to mention 3. Joyous could be, or probably, the most well handicapped in here. Whether or not she's good enough is another question. It's one thing carrying a lightweight, isn't it? But you could stick a class 6 horse in here carrying 8 stone. It doesn't necessarily mean they're good enough to win. She will be better than a mark of 123, but she is in here against some quite nice horses. One that's also an old mate of mine, Favour and Fortune. I don't think ran as bad as you might think last time out. It was his first start of the season. It went really quick. It's the race the Fiercely Proud won and Secret Squirrel came down in. He travelled into the race all right, in my opinion, and just finished like a horse maybe that looked like he needed the run. He's got some good form from last year. He won the Scottish Champion Hurdle, which had one from Willie Mullins over in. It had Loda Sud in, Roubeau in. It had some nice horses in that. I don't feel like he's hit his ceiling yet. So Favour and Fortune is probably my strongest fancy. And then to throw a big price in there, lump sum, Dylan Johnston's £3 is worth a lot. And he's a horse who's been running well in good company. And I know he carries top weight here, which there's probably plenty of trends to go against that. But Dylan Johnston's £3 could run well. So, Joyous, obviously well handicapped. Favour and Fortune I really like, and lump sum an each way play.
You've done there's only a couple more.
I looked at lump sum, but it's this time of year when Sam Thompson Sam Thomas rather, doesn't really,
Saturday, Sam?
really get me forward.
Doesn't matter what time.
Yeah, Saturday, Sam. He's not really.
Saturday.
Yeah,
There's your TriCast anyway, Matt. So I'll see you in Barbados.
Very nice. No, it is a cracking race. I do like it. I mean, there's loads. And Washington, I did give a chance to. Manila Missile's interested. I mean, how good did he look last season when winning at Cheltenham? Then we didn't see him until he came back at Windsor, and that was over 3 miles. His winning was over 2, and his good wins were over 2.5. That was over 3, and I dropped straight back to 2. I thought he was really interested at a massive price because he's actually won handicaps and judging what Captain Teague done subsequently. I actually had a nibble on Give Me 5 at Windsor as well. It was so disappointing. I thought he was a big price that day, and he ran like it as well. Actually, I must mention he was ridden that day by Michael O'Sullivan at Windsor. Best wishes to him as well. He's in intensive care after the over in Ireland after that horrendous fall at Thurles yesterday. So best wishes to Mikey O'Sullivan. He rode this last time out. And Harry Cobden has been booked by Harry Derham this time around. So, if there's any money for him as well, he's got to overcome that poor run at Windsor, but I won't be discounting him. You can only discount any of them. It's just one of those brilliant handicaps and looking forward to it. And Joel's had a couple and Frankie's gone for about 18 of those runners. Right, off to Warwick then, shall we? The Kingmaker, the Budgie Smuggler. Take it away, Frankie.
Yeah. This race is not of the most exciting, is it? We love the Budgie Smuggler horse. He's been fantastic over fences as well as what he did last year. But I would say he's a bit of a ridiculous price. I think Rubo can give him a race. He was actually jumping all right last time before falling. And if there was ever a race to finish tied in, it's the one that Sir Gino and Ballyburn were in, wasn't it? So he probably is your most likely winner. He's certainly not a better 2 to 7. And hopefully Rubo makes it interesting to watch.
He was second in the big handicap at Newbury, wasn't he, last year? Viewers asking why he's a Budgie Smuggler horse. We best just explain that this one was tipped up to Frankie. He was getting close and personal with Jed Mason and Sir Alex Ferguson, who own Load of Sud. In a pool, was it Bahrain or Dubai that time? Was it Bahrain, wasn't it?
It was Bahrain, yeah. It's not because I have yellow and red Budgie Smugglers. It is because the weekend of the Bahrain International Trophy when Spirit Dancer won the first year, they had Load of Sud running in the Greatwood, our favourite race, and they thought it was an absolute bet. Anyway, it was pulled up that day, but he's gone on to have a brilliant career since.
Really well, yeah. Sharing stories about Load of Sud with the Budgie Smugglers in a poolside bar in Bahrain. Right, it's not really a better medium, Load of Sud, just a prep for the Arkle, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't get past it, to be honest. I mean, the only thing I looked at was Rubo with the fact that Paul Nicholls stuck him in the Grade 1 first time over fences and obviously was pulled out. So I must think something of the horse. But Load of Sud for Sir Alex and in his little red Budgie Smugglers with his Man United logo in there. However, if he's been watching Man United recently, I think he'll be changing teams. But yeah, Load of Sud goes and wins. It's wonders to watch, and hopefully it'll be a nice little race.
Yes, it might be. Yes, right. The 240, they're interesting. Right? When I initially looked at this, I was quite surprised that Gala Mosso was as big as she was because You Wear It Well has obviously got a penalty and has not been pulling up any trees over fences. West Balboa has been really disappointing so far this season. And Gala Mosso, I thought, was putting around about 11 to 8, 5 to 4. I thought she would be odds on, but then you go a little bit deeper in. She was a brilliant juvenile, but she was actually a little bit disappointing last season. She was still, though she finished second at Punches Time, she was still well beaten by Lossy Mouth. So a few of these were questions to answer at 240, Joel.
Yeah, and also been beaten odds on twice. Won heavily at 7 to 2 on and tips on as well. 7 lengths behind Lossy Mouth, 28 lengths behind Lossy Mouth again. I put a line through it because I thought, first of all, like you just said, you want to have a look at a dive into this, and disappointing for me. And also, when Willie brings his horses over, it used to be a case of comes over and collects, but that hasn't been the case this season. West Balboa, haven't a clue with this horse, is on the drift. Let's have a look. You Wear It Well, could be given a chance, but I just got down to a horse that's 25 to 1 here. On figures shouldn't be pestering the top of the market, but is it Royal Magar? Is that what I've written down here? Royal, it's Yeah, Raw My Go. That's it. It was the day after Boxing Day at Kempton. Was held up and was absolutely cruising. It was over the extended 3 miles and just got a bit tired towards the end. This is over 2.5, 2.5. And I thought it may be worth a little chance because I didn't like the top two in the market. I don't like West Barbara at all. And the favourite was disappointing. So looking at this, at 25-1 to either, come first or second, I thought this was, proper value hunting and not just being stupid to try and find something at a stupid price.
Interesting. Yeah, Ben Post on board, looking to deliver. You can have that one. Where did you go, Frankie?
I actually don't disagree with Joel that Royal Margot isn't a bad outside bet. But I do disagree that Gala Marceau can't win. I think she was priced up for the reasons that you mentioned. Willie Mullins hasn't been coming over and cleaning up as you might expect. She was beaten on her reappearance run last year at Donny when odds on. But I feel like that was a much better race. It had some Cheltenham Hurdle contenders in. I just feel like she's too good. And for all that it hasn't been happening for the team, I'd say that they'd be quite confident they can come here and pick this one up. I think she'll be too good.
Okay. So, yeah, that was my original thought, but when I looked deeper, I thought, you know what, I could probably let her run at 11-8. I thought she would have been shorter than that, but looking at her form...
I kind of did the same, but then you look at the rest of the field. And
no, I totally agree. That's the thing. When I say they've been disappointing, the Sovereign don't look good enough.
Yeah.
That's what, then that Cargisi run, what is it, Joel? Cargés. Run. Cargés. Also, that's 7 pronunciations in 10 seconds. Also 10% enthusiasm as well. So I can let it run at that price. What about the 315? Now, obviously, there's 9 declared, but Strawfran Jack was entered on Friday at Kempton. Fugitive looks likely to go to the Denman Chase, and that's his first preference. We could end up with a field of 7 here, Frankie.
Yes, the Lemilos. Have I skipped a race here? Sorry.
No, you're right. Lemilos. Yeah, I thought you might go.
I'm not going to put him up. I'm just going to tell him to stay in that tracker. Keep him in the tracker. What are they up to with him? He's a 3-miler. He's going to win a big 3-mile handicap chase, I'm telling you. I still don't think that these 2.5-mile races are the plan for him. I could be wrong, but when he goes to Cheltenham or anywhere else over 3 miles and he's only rated 137, we'll all be saying, the Scoutons have done it again. I'm not backing him. Maybe he'll make me look stupid from what I've just said there and go and win, but can't have him. As a few of these might be en route back to Cheltenham. You know what I'm going to throw up? And you're going to not be pleased with this, Matt. But Editor de Gite.
As soon as you said I won't be pleased, I knew where you were going.
You think that he's completely gone at the game. I think he's rated 140. This horse that was once rated 160. He's a bit mad. He's going to go forwards. But these old boys, I don't think they're going to like it. These 10, 11-year-olds, when he goes and sets a strong pace, are they going to be able to keep up with him? And if he can just last out his race and not be beaten by something better, I give him a good chance.
And the thing is, when you said that, Joel was nodding his head. So are you going for it as well, you pair of nutters?
Right, no. Well, first of all, I was
bring some sanity back.
A massive case. Yeah. I was putting up a massive case for Strawfan Jack, but obviously, we'll run on Friday. There's a great stat that was on Twitter last night, which is Sheila Lewis in Chases at Warwick, 44%. And she's got Johnny Burke booked for this. So that was a great one that I found last night on Twitter. But it'll run on the Friday. I like Editor de Gite as well. I really, really do. Not as nutty as Goshen. We'll probably just go from the front and try and nick the race. A bit nuts, keeps going. I like it. I like it. Nuts, bit mental. And there's ones at the top of the market that I'm not hugely a fan of, and a bit like Frankie with Lemilas. I had no idea what's going on with that horse.
33-1 for the Ultima with Betfred. There you go.
I just understand. You know what? This is a good time to ask our people watching to comment. So please comment. We'll try and react to a few, certainly across the Punters Guide and the road to Cheltenham. And do you know what? We may be hiring for pundits after these two. I mean, Editor de G, really? Both of you?
Don't worry about that.
But
Lemilos had 33s for the ultimate.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, yeah. There is that Skeletons maybe doing it again, or certainly there's something. Obviously, maybe Aintree or something. I don't know. Where's his Zeke? Surely he's got. I know he's getting well handicapped, but he's shown zip. Anyway, I'll be serious. Please comment. We'll try and get to a few. We'll react, read out, certainly on the Punters Guide, or even the road to Cheltenham as well. We'll get your thoughts because, of course, we are closing in 4 weeks on Tuesday. So certainly join us next week for the road to Cheltenham because we'll react to everything that happens at Newbury and at Warwick and everything else. A good card extra on Sunday as well, which may have a few pointers. So, right, best bets, boys. And if you dare say this is a Jeet, you are cancelled.
Before I throw best bet in the mix, this is turning into a Road to Cheltenham show, but I'd keep one eye on Shanna Bob for the Patents. I think he's around, 15, 16s. He runs at Warwick tomorrow in the 3:48 over 2 mile 5. He's already finished second in one of the Patents qualifiers. I'd say his game obviously wasn't chasing. He's a big, clumsy, messy horse, but he's one to keep an eye on in your trackers and your Cheltenham minds. Best bet. Ooh, I'm gonna go in the big handicap. Why not? Favour and Fortune.
The one you put 3 up, you're picking one of them as your best bet.
Well, you said I was allowed to. When you say I'm allowed a few darts, Matt, I've got to take them.
Right, I'll cover half the race and I'll probably best bet in it. Right, I tell you, I'm working with numpties. Go on, Joel.
And I'm in the same race as well. Is this the old Schweppes?
No.
Yes.
I'll happily.
Yeah, no. Right, I want to ask a question here because Frankie's obviously decades younger than us two. Frankie, who or what is a Schweppes?
A drink.
Is the right answer. Very good.
Well,
I'm going Washington. Yeah. Washington for me for make it 3 out of 3 for Harry Durham to follow up a 5-length easy win at Fairy House.
I'd happily take Edwards.
Or like yourself.
As the next best or the alternative if we're both in the same race. I'd be pleased to take him at his price.
There we go. Interesting. Yeah, Schweppes it was, wasn't it, for a year? Tote Gold Trophy then, and now it's had more names than Prince in recent years.
That one's lost on me.
He's only had 2.
Who's yours?
My best bet.
You're in good form. You're being you only throw a horse in every one every 12 races, but they have been doing all right.
Yeah, I know. When I was having a good look, I actually came down. I was had to pick something else as well for a column. So I actually came down on Brave Man's Game because I thought he's just going to get an easy lead. Because the only one that, his best form is from the front. Nothing else really. Sam Brown did lead last time Market Raising, but generally they're all hold-up horses or will hold up behind the pace. But he might get an easy lead. This is kind of his Gold Cup now, isn't it? I mean, I know he's beaten by the Real Whacker is a little bit disappointing, but that Haydot, a repetition of that Haydot run, 3rd to Roper Guy, certainly gives him every chance. I know you fancy Jello, Frank. I'm just worried. You're running the Holden Gold Cup. Would he stay 3 miles? Is he better going the other way around?
Probably, yeah. That was maybe my reservation. Right-handed. Newbury's pretty, as far as left-handed tracks go, Newbury's all right in terms of its,
Yeah. Richard Hobson said Fugitive, he's got other aims, and this is a case of, he might get a bit of money, but might get dropped a few pounds as well. Garlaw, disappointing last time. He's a handicapper. He's a very good handicapper. Does he just fall short? The Patron, one hit nicely 2 starts ago, but again, bombed out last time out. I was at Cheltenham, wasn't it? Is he good enough? Is he really up to this level? Eldorado Wallen won this race a couple of years ago, but was really disappointed in it. Probably an easy renewal last year. S. Hitman as well. He never wins, although he was second this race last year. And Sam Brown is under an 8 and, surely isn't improving and couldn't win the Veterans final last time out. So I just thought it all came down on Brave Man's Game. He is the best horse in there. Not officially. Jello's the best horse officially, but the figures on the ratings without a penalty. I went to Brave Man's Game in what is a brilliant week to watch. I don't think there's too many standout bets personally. Certainly on the TV ratings. Anyhow.
Yeah, I
There
agree.
you
I'm not mad keen on anything, but it's a nice weekend for watching. A few Cheltenham pointers and a couple of nice kind of grade 2 races that are just competitive.
I'll get plenty of clues. Well, even that it's not on ITV. That 410 at Newbury is a cracking novices handicap chase as well. So yeah, there's loads of brilliant stuff. It's not too bad at Utox either. So there's loads of clues. We'll cover them all on Road to Cheltenham. And of course, as I said earlier, like, subscribe, and also comment. Get your comments in. If you fancy anything for the weekend, fancy anything for Cheltenham from the weekend, let us know, and we'll try and pick it up on the Road to Cheltenham for you next week. So there we go, boys. We've not been too bad form in a decent week last week. Can we continue it this weekend? A Super Saturday at Newbury. Whether you were back in, the very best of luck.